Welcome back to Man Down Sports, man. We got another good show for y'all tonight, man. They had a whole bunch of good games tonight. I'm not gonna recap them just yet. I do kind of want to talk about some of them, so we'll get to them at some point. But I want to start with the Jaylen Brown conversation, and they had this conversation on Gil's Arena. You know, Jaylen Brown got interviewed post game after one of the games this week, and he kind of talked about all the people that doubted him and doubted the Boston Celtics, knowing that they wasn't gonna have Jason Tatum and knowing that they lost, four key players: Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Luke Cornett, probably one more person, but also including Jason Tatum. Like even on here on Full Panel Friday on this channel, we kind of talked about how we didn't expect much from the Celtics, and I can't remember what I predicted about Jaylen Brown, but I knew I was like, man, this is a prove it opportunity for him to prove that he can lead a team as a number one. And he's proven it. He's proven it. He got the Celtics number 2 in the East right now, good record, and he's putting up good production as well on both ends of the floor. So you got to tip your hat off to him. But he's not getting his respect, right? We're despite him having them number 2 and fighting for number 1 with Detroit. Right, just let that sink in. This is a number 2 option that played beside Jason Tatum. That despite him getting Eastern Conference Finals MVP and Finals MVP the year they won the finals, he was still looked at like, yeah, just a sidekick, and probably can't do this, can't do that. I mean, they just didn't think much of him. And I'm like, man, come on, dog. Like a 2-way player that's that good, like. It's crazy, man. He got overlooked for the Olympic squad. Like, they took 2 of his team. They really took 3 of his teammates. I think they had Drew Holiday, and they replaced Kawhi with White. On top of having Tatum, but I mean, like he's just getting overlooked for a lot of stuff, and I think it's about time that we take a little closer look into his case for the MVP race. And that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play for you what they said on Gil's Arena. I'll react to it, and then we'll look to see if he got a case for MVP. But let me see who in the comment section before I start. Make sure y'all come in and hit the like button. What's up, Rich Dog? What's up, Jeff? Come in. What's up, Cass Soprano, Daniel Sports, or Daniel Berry Sports Highlights? What's up? What's up? Hit them. What's up? Hit them in the house. I got moderators in the house. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you hit the share button and get some people in here as well. Hype the video up as well, because those hypes work and helps as well, man. So do that. What the K say still amazes me. His pre-draft report said he's too smart. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's real crazy, man. We're gonna have a conversation about it. I'm opening these phone lines up tonight. Y'all go do more talking than usual. I'm gonna open the phone lines up. I'm gonna keep them open for a little while, because I only got 2 topics I really want to bring to you, and then get my night ended early, get my Friday started early. You know what I mean? But let's play what Jaylen Brown said about the start that he is having with Boston, and then hear how Gil's Arena reacted to it.
I'll take everything personal, low-key. I'm always looking for something, but yeah, I feel like I've sacrificed over the years in order for us to be a championship caliber team, and I think now we're getting to see that a little bit, what exactly I was capable of and what I was sacrificing. I think before maybe it wasn't so obvious. I think now, being able to be at the helm of things, and us being the 2nd seed in the East versus last year, we finished 2nd seed in the East. It's almost been no drop off with 5 players that are essentially gone. I feel like that the work from the coaching staff, the work from our leadership has been great, and I've just tried to make myself available every single night.
Strong words there, Mickey. I saw you smiling while Jay Brown was saying that. Celtics currently tied with the Knicks' 2nd best record in the East, 29-18. They are 3rd, I think, due to tiebreakers.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna stop it there because I want to point some stuff out. He mentioned the sacrifice he made, which is true. He did make a sacrifice, but he wanted to let that be known, because he heard everyone saying that he can't be a number one and he can't be a successful number one. And he can't lead a team to success as a number one. So he heard all those things. He heard, probably some chirping about him winning Finals MVP. People probably say he didn't deserve that. Just heard a whole bunch of chatter. And then as far as how the media talks about him, they're not talking about him in a light where he feels like he's at. You get what I'm saying? They're not putting him in that upper echelon of these good players, and he barely makes All-Star. Being at number 2. So he was like, all of that is a sacrifice, because in his mind, he probably feels like 100% if he had his own team and he wasn't the number 2 behind Tatum, that he would be putting up a lot more points. He would be showing people how he could lead. He probably would have more money, even though he did get a lot of money for someone who's a number 2. He would have more money, more All-Stars, more everything, right? And that's a selfish way to think. If you're saying, I don't want to stay in this role that I'm in. I want to go get my own squad just so I can show everybody, which is something that Kobe did. But this is after he got three rings with Shaq. Yeah, I play my number 2 role. He's older. I'm younger. I play the number 2. And then after the relationship between him and Shaq got so bad, he was like, I mean, what's the point of me forcing this relationship when I already don't feel like I'm really a number 2? And then everyone is not giving me the credit. So I might as well go and prove to everybody I can be a number 1. So that was a challenge that he accepted, but this is after he got 3 rings. So Jaylen Brown at some point might feel like, hey, this next contract that he go out of, maybe he will split from Tatum, but they were trying to get him and Tatum to split 3-4 years ago. And they ain't even 27 yet. I think Tatum just turned 27 this year, so Brown might be 28. So they ain't even 30 yet for real.
Sometimes you get put in a situation to be the number 1 option, and sometimes your mouth is bigger than that responsibility, but it wasn't for him, right? He's, put that team, what did they have, a 40 and what? 40 and what? What was this supposed to be ready? 41 and 41?
Like 40 to 41 wins, I think was.
So the fact that he with that, with 4 players leaving, he has them in a position to fight for number 1 in the East, definitely number 2 to number 3 in the East. And number 2 options have to sacrifice so much that you don't know how good they are until they're put in a situation. So he got put in a situation. Now he's like, look, this is what I can do. So me going back, if I do go back, I'm going back because this is where I fit for us to win. So y'all told us to win. This is how we put our team together to win. But if you want me to come out here and show you I'm Superman, I can show you I'm Superman. So what I don't like is this. Out of everybody who questioned the media, you put them at 41 and 41 or 40 and 42. They're not. His production is MVP production. Why aren't you yelling it out loud?
That's a good question.
He's over exceeding where y'all had him. You had him here. They're here. So why aren't you giving him the credit for it? It was no different than, Kobe when that team was supposed to be dead last in the West and they made the playoffs. Why aren't you giving the credit to the person for your wrong prediction?
And he's absolutely right. Like, currently, Jaylen Brown has Boston at the number 2 seed. They've won. Well, he's played 44 out of the 47 games, so he's only missed 3 games. So he's available as well. He's not what Wemby is doing in and out of the lineup. Luka has missed about 8 or 9 games. Jokic has already missed 15 games. He's a durable, available player. He's playing in all the games, and he plays both sides of the ball. He's almost averaging 30 points. He's 29.4 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Two-way player, number 2 seed in the East. right? There's no excuse. Like they always have narrative and storylines around players they want to disqualify from the MVP. A lot of times, if you're like when Jason Tatum was the MVP, or when Jason Tatum was leading the Boston Celtics to a number 1 or number 2 seed in the East, the reason why they said that he can't be an MVP candidate or top 3 MVP candidate is because his team was too good, which means that they thought that Porzingis, Drew Holiday, White, Brown, that's too good. Like they pretty much was saying, you got a super team. You're supposed to be number 1. So I can't give you credit for being number 1 in the East. That's not even important. Like, I hate the way the media does this. They will look at a team that's performing so well, led by their number 1 player who is an MVP candidate, and they will look at that record and say that record almost hurts you because it shows that your team is too good, and we want to reward someone who's lifting a team from hell to the heavens. And that's also storyline and narrative, because how do you prove that someone's lifting a team from hell to heavens? Because the storyline that was following Jokic for his MVPs was, this team is so trash. The fact that they even made a 4th seed means that he must be the MVP. And there's no way to really prove that except for Jokic being put out of the lineup like he is this year. And then you get to see they were lying. All them years that Jokic was his number 1, I ain't gonna say his number 1. His number 1 thing was almost averaging a triple-double. That was the foundation of his MVP candidacy. He almost averaged a triple-double. The number 2 thing is his team is trash. His teammates is trash. He's the only one that's doing something. He's uplifting everybody and everything around Denver. And that was okay for voters to push that story out and then say that SGA got a super team and Tatum got a super team. So that kind of brings them down a notch. But the triple-double king has a trash squad, and now we're finding out that's not true. We're finding out that his team wasn't trash. I already knew they wasn't trash. I knew what he had around them. Y'all didn't know that because y'all listened to the media. So for Tatum, he always got disqualified because his teammates was supposedly too good. So him having the number 1 record in the league didn't even help him. Now there's no Tatum, there's no Porzingis, there's no Time Lord, there's no Drew Holiday. All of these guys are gone. They're not supposed to be nowhere near the playoffs right now. And they're the number 2 seed, led by Jaylen Brown, who's a 2-way player, who's putting up stats, and he's available. And he's not even in the MVP race. They got him number 6. They got Jaylen Brown number 6, which means if you're not top 3, you're really not in the race. Only the top 3 to me is really in the race. 4 and 5, throwaway votes, because that's what Jason Tatum was landing. Jason Tatum got 2 number 4 finishes for MVP and 2 number 6 finishes. So anything after 3 don't even really matter. You're not going to get no first place votes. Only 1 and 2 will probably get first place votes. Maybe 3 will get some first place votes. So let that sink in. Right. So finishing 4, I mean, Tatum already finished 4 before, but they're never going to give them real consideration for the award because the storyline they follow. It don't matter what they did as far as the win column. It don't matter what they did on the defensive end or the offensive end. It just didn't matter to the voters. The storyline was too strong. Hey, Jokic team is trash. Boston team is an all-star team, so you can't get him the MVP. You can't give neither one of them the MVP. And I hate that narrative. So what's the narrative now? Why is Jaylen Brown not in the conversation? Why is he number 6 on the list? I don't understand it. Like, Luka is in a 5th seed right now, probably a 6th seed. Jaylen Brown is number 2 in his conference, and they got Luka number 2. Oh no, they still got. I think they got SGA 1 now, Jokic 2, Luka 3. Last time I checked. So I'm gonna show you once again, and this is what I want to do once I go through my criteria again, because I want to open the phone lines up. I want to hear what people think about this MVP thing. Jaylen the Sharpie Brown, yeah. See the Sharpie, that's crazy. I want to go through this, right? So let's do this real quick. Y'all know my standard for the MVP. You know it's I measure your offensive value, I measure your defensive value, and I measure your team success. Your offensive value must not be empty. It must be anchored by results. And I measure your results as well. I call that team success, right? So if your offensive value is one thing, it has to lead to something. What you do offensively, how is, you got to show your value, and you got to show how it helped your team. So me scoring 30 points and dishing out 8 assists, what did that do for my team, right? And the first thing I look at is where your team is rated at offensively, and then how many games you won. And I do the same thing for defense. What you do defensively for your team, how did it help your team, and what was the results of that? So I look at what you do defensively. Are you an average defender that contributes? Are you a good defender that contributes? Are you a great defender who actually leads your defense? Or are you a liability and you're a net negative for your team, which results in your team having a horrible rating defensively? Right. So those why I kind of put people. Are you a liability and hurt your team? Are you average? You don't hurt your team or help your team? Or are you good or great and you actually contribute? You can be good. I think SGA is a good defender, and I think he contributes to his team defense. He don't hurt it at all, and he don't lead it. He's not the leader on his defensive team. He's the leader for the team overall, so you give him credit for the defensive rating that they come up with. But he contributes as a good defender. I think someone like I don't even know if they got a leader defensively. I mean, you could say Dort because he guards the best perimeter player, and Chet maybe because he protects the rim. So you could kind of say Dort and Chet are the leaders of that defense, but the attitude of the entire team on both ends of the floor comes from SGA. I seen them play tonight, and I seen SGA show up lackadaisical and kind of loafing around, and the entire team was loafing. So you can affect when you got that much of an impulse on your team, you can affect positively or negative. So he waited too late. He waited to the second half to try to turn it up, and it was too late. It was already blowed out. So that's what being a leader of your team is all about. Your attitude carries over, right? So yeah, he's the leader of the team, but on the defensive end, the guys who are the point of attack defensively, you got Dort, and then you got Chet rim protecting, and I think that gives SGA credit as being a good defender that contributes, not a great defender who leads his defense. He leads his offense. He's a great scorer who leads his offense. He's a good defender that contributes. Wemby is a great defender who leads his defense. Like, that defense is all funneling in the dribble drives to Wemby so he can protect the rim or block the shot. So he's leading his defense. I think Jaylen Brown is also leading his defense because he's the point of attack. He's the guy that you're going to put on the best player. So that's the difference. I think as far as the MVP candidates, I think we have two good defenders, which is Cade and SGA. And then I think we have two great defenders, which is Brown and Wemby. And then we have two liabilities, which is Luka and Jokic. And so that matters to me. Defense matters, right? So your value, and I'm about to show you how being a liability on defense affects your team, right? So here's my criteria: offensive value, defensive value, team success. Measure team success by your offensive value leading to your offensive rating team-wise and defensive rating team-wise and your record. your team record, and ultimately how many wins that you contribute to. Because your team record could be one thing, but if you miss 9 games, I'm not going to give you credit for every game your team won when you was out. I'm just going to give you credit for the games you won when you played. And that's how I do my rating. So that's my value. Like I said, the Michael Jordan trophy or the MVP trophy is named after Michael Jordan, the GOAT. And I use him as a standard. He was a player who played 82 games 9 times, I think. He was a scoring champion 10 times. He was a steal champion 3 times. He was a defensive player of the year. Defensive all first team 9 times, first team all NBA. So these are things I'm looking for. I'm measuring you based on that. Are you available? Are you playing most of the games? Are you playing both ends of the floor? What you got to show for your defense? Do you have a steals title? Do you have a defensive player of the year? Did you make a defensive first team? Those things. Did you get any votes at all? If you did make a first team or second team all defense, scoring titles, all those things. I'm measuring it. Right. And ultimately, I'm taking what you do offensively as far as how many points you score, and how you help your team distribute the ball as far as assists. And I give you a grade or value based on that. I take your points, and if you average 30 points, that's 30 points. If you average 10 assists, I'm going to split that in half, because assists is 50% your pass and 50% the player who made the shot. Like, it takes 2 to get that assist. So if you average 10, I'm giving you 5 points for that. So if you average 30 and 10, your offensive value is 35. That's the number. That's the magic number for me, 35. So when I do all of that, I come up with this. These are my top 5 guys for the award. So when you actually really look at it, yes, Jaylen Brown and he has a case for the MVP award. So I don't have it the same as Vegas or whatever ESPN has put out, because they got him at number 6. They got Maxey and Wemby in the top 5. I don't have Maxey and Wemby, especially not all the games that Wemby is missing, and especially not Philly being in the number 6 seed, while Jaylen Brown led his team to a number 2 seed. I can't in good conscience put, and then Maxey is not providing defensive value like Jaylen Brown is. Like, I can't in good conscience have Maxey there for those reasons, and Wemby there for the fact that he's missing all these games. Like, I just, it's hard. So I would have Maxey and Wemby somewhere at 5 or 6, but definitely I wouldn't have Jaylen Brown on the outside looking in. As a matter of fact, they don't even have Cade in the top 5. They got Cade number 6. They got Jaylen Brown number 6. They got Cade number 7 in the MVP race. And that's unreal to me. So here's my top 5. So I'm grading all this. If you see that red is not good. That means bad. Right? So let's go starting from the left column and moving to the right. Those are my names: Luka, SGA, Jokic, Cade, Brown. The next column says fully qualified. Are you fully qualified? If you look at the bottom where those circles at, offensive value, defensive value, team success, and if you have all 3 of those things, I consider you fully qualified to be considered for the award. I don't think Luka has any any defensive value for his team. I think he's a liability. Same thing with Jokic. They actually hurt their team defensively. And if you see the red, they're the only 2 candidates who don't have defensive value or not fully qualified for the award. But they're getting considered for the award because of 2 things. Their offensive input is so high that you got to consider them for the award. You can't ignore their offensive input. Right? So those 2 are not fully qualified for the award. But let's move on. The next column, 82 games played. Luka missed 8 games already. 38 games out of 46. Out of those 38 games he's played, he's led them to 24 wins. As you see all the way on the right column, games won that he's contributed to the win is 24. right? So he's missed 8 games. He's led them to 24 wins in the 38 games he played. Does he have also offensive value? Of course, every candidate that's an MVP candidate definitely has offensive value. That you got to have that. It's hard to be there without that. And you see he has the green light by his offensive value because he has the most offensive value. He's leading the league in scoring and averaging 10 assists. Well, he's averaging 9 assists, 8.7. He's averaging 9 assists. So he's leading the league in scoring with 33 points. Actually, I'm lying, 34 points because it's 33.6 points. So I rounded up 34 points and 9 assists. So he has the height. When you put the points and assists together, the way I was saying I did it before, he has the highest offensive value of all the candidates. So I give him a green light for that. You look at SGA, he's played the most games. He's only missed 2 games, 46 out of 48. And I did this before the game tonight. So now you can say they played 49 games and he's played 47 out of 49. So he's missed 2 games. He's available. He's more available than anybody, which goes right with my standard. My Michael Jordan standard is 82 games. Who's the closest to that? Availability matters because, like everybody say, the best ability is availability, and the worst ability is a liability on defense. So when you're somebody like Luka and Jokic, and both of y'all are both hurting your teams in availability because y'all not there, and liability on defense, you have the 2 biggest red flags on your case than any other guy. Those are 2 big red flags and 2 big negatives. Jokic, 32 games out of 47. Out of those 32, he's contributed to 22 wins. Cade, 39 out of 46. I think now 40 out of 46 after tonight. He's contributed to, did they play tonight? No, they didn't play tonight. 39 out of 45. He's contributed to 29 wins. And Jaylen Brown's contributed to 27 wins. I think he's missed 3 games. So as far as team wins all the way to the right, that's still going to SGA. He's contributed to 36 wins out of the 46 games he played. He still got that now. So SGA, as far as availability, he's got a green light or green check. And as far as games won, he's got a green check. That's 2 big green checks, right? Then he also, if you move to team success, offensively, so what SGA does offensively is contributing to his team being a number 4 rated offense. The Denver Nuggets is a number 1 rated offense. So the green check goes to Jokic for that as far as team success offensively. Jaylen Brown is a number 2. He's led his team to a number 2 rated offense. So keep that in mind. Led his team to a number 2 rated offense. That's interesting. Then you get to defensive value. Luka don't have defensive value. Jokic don't have defensive value. SGA, Cade, and Brown do. Out of all 3 of those guys, Brown is the better defender. He's the only one that they use really for the best offensive player on the opposing team. Cade and SGA guards the best offensive player sometimes, but they really let other guys take that load, like Lou Dort, maybe Hollins for Detroit. But it's not always Cade or SGA. But Brown is either going to be him or White. It ain't nobody else. It ain't going to be Pritchard for sure. It's either going to be him or White taking that matchup. I value that. He's the best defender out of all the candidates. So he gets a green check for that. So everyone's getting checks everywhere except Cade. Cade don't have a check anywhere. But Cade has he's like a number 12 rated offense for his team. So what you're doing offensively, first and foremost, Cade averages the least amount of points out of all the candidates. He's averaging 25 points a game. Everyone else is no lower than 29. Brown is 29. If I wanted to add Maxey is 29. SGA is 32. Luka's 33. Jokic is 29. So 25 is like, that's kind of like where Jokic was at a couple of years ago, where he wasn't exploding for a lot of points. He was around 24, 25 points a game, but he was averaging almost a triple-double, so it kind of made up for it. But, that's kind of what Cade is at. He's averaging 6 rebounds and 10 assists with 25 points and the second best record in the league. So he's right there, but he's just not, there's nothing that's really other than his team success. That's the big thing. And, also the defense as well, and him being a two-way player. Right. But he's leading his team to a number 12 rated offense. Luka, number 8 rated offense. SJ, number 4. Right. Then defensive value, I already went on that. And in team success, what is your defensive value leading to? Now, here's what I was getting to about Luka and Jokic, because leadership, however you want to slice it, is going to lead to something. So whatever Jokic and Luka is doing as team leaders is resulting in their team being the number 23rd for Jokic and the number 25th for Luka rated defensive team. Now, it's not all their fault, but they're the leaders. So if we're going to contribute all the bad to them, all the good to them, you have to do the same for the bad. You're the leader. If you lead a horrible group, then you lead a horrible group. That you got to wear that on your sleeves or do something about it. If you don't like your teams being 25th in defense and 23rd in defense, then what are you going to do as the leader? Fix it. Lead. Be the change. Anchor the defense. Do something. Accept the challenge. Don't just sit there and be like, well, we just go suck on defense. Let's just figure out how to put more points on the board. So when you look at that as a totality, offensive rating and defensive rating, look at Jokic in Denver, number 1 offense, but one of the worst defenses. That ain't going to get you too far. Jaylen Brown, one of the best offenses and middle of the pack defenses. So the fact that he's the best defender here is not leading your team to being one of the best defensive team. You're middle of the pack, you number 12. Luka, not even a top 5 offense. So all that offense he doing is leading to a number 8 offense. So something, man, like y'all like efficiency, don't you? That y'all always talk about efficiency, doing all that work just to be number 8. When Jaylen Brown is doing less to be number 2, give me what Jaylen Brown is doing all day long. You can have the extra 4 assists that Luka gets you. Right? But being number 8 offensively and number 25, you almost at the bottom. You almost the worst defensive team in the league. That's your team, Luka. You leading that team. That's your team, Jokic. So your defensive value is leading to the 25th rated defense, and your offensive value is leading to the number 8 offense, and y'all number 6 in the West as far as team record. That's not MVP stuff. But when you look at SGA right there, he's the most available player. He's missed the least amount of games. He's won the most amount of games. His team has won the most, and he's contributed to the most amount of wins. And it's not close. Cade is the closest one, and he's 7 games less than what he's, what SGA has got for his team. But then when you look at what SGA is doing as a body of work, what the results are, a top 4 rated offense and the number 1 rated defense. That's your MVP guy. And after I do all those calculations, I come away with my new top 3, which is SGA 1, Cade 2, Jaylen Brown 3. So, yes, Jaylen Brown deserves to be in the MVP race, and he deserves to be top 3 by my estimation. Right. So but I'm here to listen to some rebuttals. So I'll open the phone lines up and we'll have a conversation. I want to hear where I got it wrong at, how y'all got it different, and should I be looking at something else? Anthony said he's fine with that, more games to play. Yeah, it is more games to play. That man said not mad at it. Great top 3. I respect it. Okay. He said, nah, I can route with that. Well, if y'all agree, call and tell me why you agree. I want to hear from y'all, to be honest with you. I agree. Rumors suggest Michael Porter Jr., but I would like my Nets to keep him unless they get a juicy offer. Y'all probably get a first rounder for Michael Porter Jr. Maybe, but he has a big salary, so y'all gonna have to at least get an expiring contract that can match, because it wouldn't make sense to make the money match up for another player that's not as good as him, but the money match. I mean, that would make no sense unless you're just doing it for them to throw a draft pick in there with it, right? So even if you send a player over for the money to match, whether it's an expiring contract or not, you're gonna have to, they're not gonna pull the trigger on it without a first rounder being involved, right? And if I'm Detroit, I think I do it. If I'm Detroit, I give you whatever players that's going to make it match with a first rounder, maybe. I mean, because it depends on their situation. I don't know how many first rounders they got in the next coming years, but this draft is coming up this year is supposed to be stacked. I mean, I think right off the bat, just with the freshman class that's in college, right off the back, I see 5 franchise players in the freshman class: Peterson, Caleb Wilson, Boozer at Duke, AJ DeBanster at BYU. That's 4. And Peterson at Kansas. Did I say Peterson? Peterson, Wilson, Boozer, AJ. That's 4. And 5. I'm missing the 5th, but it's another one. I think he's a big man. I forget his name. It's 5 franchise players that, dog, you usually only get 1 or 2. That's clear cut. It's a couple of surprises that pop up as well, but it's clear cut 5 freshmen that's gonna be franchise players, dog. Clear cut. All right, so no phone calls on this one. Call in, Warburg. I want to hear what you said. Boston, your team. Detroit needs a scoring guard. Yeah, that's why I like MPJ going there for sure. I like to see MPJ there. Which team has a better supporting cast, Brown or Cade? I don't know. That's a good question. It's really the same. If you want to be real about it. Caller, what's good?
Not much, man. How's it going, bro?
I'm good, man. What's your thoughts, man? Who's your top 3 candidates?
I can agree with what you put up there. No question about that. I definitely agree with that. Okay. I got no problem with how you got that down. The only thing I wanted to add, I mean, you might have mentioned, I just got on here online. I thought you were coming on at 2:45. I didn't know you got on the side. Luckily, I got on. But what I wanted to mention was just Jaylen Brown. Like, would you consider his career resume like in this? Because I would think he has a better career resume than any of those guys. Playoffs, MVP. Finals.
Yeah, he's accumulating some stuff, man. I mean, he already got a ring.
He beat Luka.
Got a Finals MVP. Got a Eastern Conference MVP. He would have a gold medal if Nike didn't blackball him.
I know that's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Yep, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that was some nonsense.
He collecting some hardware, but he's been a number 2. So people don't really look at number twos and what they do and give them the full credit like they should get. I think the star and the co-star should get a lot of credit. Of course, the star should get more, but when the talent level between your star and co-star is so close, I think it's okay. Like when it's Shaq and Kobe, I think that's a situation to where they both can get equal credit. Or when it's Magic, Kareem, equal credit. Like when it's Steph and KD, equal credit. But like when it's Jordan and Pippen, you know, it's an obvious gap between them. You know what I mean? So,
Well, I mean, with Jaylen, he had overall better numbers than Tatum, but the only thing Tatum was lacking, he just had bad field goal percentage, man. He had great numbers other than the field goal percentage in the playoffs, you know. I think that's why they gave it to Jaylen. I might be wrong, but that's just my opinion on when the finals MVP, you know.
Yeah, but there's no real reason why you can really make the argument why Brown should. This is the thing. It's so many weird narratives and so much weirdness going on around Boston, Tatum, and Brown for the last 4 years. Number one, I remember in the media every time they and mind you, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals when Jaylen Brown was 21 and Jason Tatum was 20.
Yep.
Tatum was a second-year player, or was he a rookie? No, he was a rookie.
What? You're right. Jaylen came first. It wasn't Jaylen.
Yeah, Jaylen came a year before Tatum.
Yep, exactly. But Tatum was a rookie in his second.
The year they went to the conference finals, I think was the year that Kyrie and Gordon Hayward came there. Tatum had got drafted as a rookie. No one knew that he was going to step up, but he stepped up when Gordon and Kyrie both got hurt.
Right. That's when Gordon went out the very first game against Cleveland that year, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Well,
you're right.
I want to say they went to a game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
They did, I think.
And then I think they did it again a couple of years later, if I remember correct. But the point is this.
Yep.
Ever since they showed that they could get to the conference finals, and then they couldn't get past that point in the years after that, the media would always talk about they need to split up. They was trying to split them more. Oh man, they got to split this thing up. They got to blow it up.
Yep.
It's not gonna work. And I'm like, dude, they ain't even 23 yet, and y'all talking about splitting them up. Right. So they had to hear that noise first. And then they stayed together and they figured it out. But after that, everything became Jason Tatum wouldn't get no credit. He wasn't getting no love in the MVP race. No matter how many games they won, he wouldn't get no love in the MVP race. I mean, this dude went to the Olympics and got benched.
Then, I know that was crazy.
Then they wouldn't give him no love, and like they wouldn't even vote for him for Eastern Conference Finals MVP or the Finals MVP. And I'm like, man, it's something weird with the media and Brown and Tatum. It's almost like their effort to try to split them up has been there for the last 4 years. I think it's weird.
And I think that was like maybe one of the biggest concentrations more than anything. And it's like, what are you talking about? These guys are both great. They're just different in their own ways. That's just how I looked at it. I'm obviously a Boston fan, but I mean, that's just how I looked at it. Now, why would you split them up? That never made sense to me.
Yeah. Nah, for sure.
So you got two great players, keep them together. That's what dynasties do. That's what Pippen and Jordan did. Kobe and Shaq, like you said, Yeah. You need two cats, man.
Yep.
But I mean Tatum or Brown, I think. I mean, obviously because they're teammates, but their resumes alone, like between all these guys, that you compiled in that list. I mean, that's the only thing I wanted to add was just like the career, because I think that's the only thing you could add on to that. Other than that, I think that's on point with how you did everything with that.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah, but you got a Boston accent. You in Boston?
Well, I'm right outside Boston. I'm right outside the suburb of Boston.
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear the accent.
Man. I was your last call this morning, not the one you did like last night, like 3 a.m.
Yeah,
I was all nervous because I didn't think I was gonna get through. I thought you was gonna like scale the call or something like that. It's the first time I called in.
I remember. I remember when you called yesterday. I remember.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was nervous.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. I definitely appreciate that you called, man. I appreciate you called back as well, man. It's always good to talk the game, man. So I appreciate it, man. So
Yeah,
are
man.
you a Celtics fan or no?
Yes.
You
yes,
are
I
okay.
am.
Oh, so you really like Jaylen Brown getting some flowers right now.
Yeah. Well, you know game, bro. You know what the real players are, bro.
No, for real.
I respect that.
But there's nobody else in the NBA media that's gonna have this top 3 right now.
You know what? It's a great problem. I'll take that problem all day long, man.
Yeah, for me, I like being the oddball and being truthful about my stuff because everybody else is just going with the flow and they see what ESPN say and they just copycatting it. But you can't in your right mind not have Cade and Jason Tatum in this daggone race. There's no way you can have it. Right. So that's why I got it right now, man. And I gave everybody my reasoning. Everybody else who writing these articles don't have a criteria. They're just throwing shit on the wall and hoping it stick.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I never heard you say who's your team, bro. Like who's your favorite player or who's your favorite team?
I don't have a team. I wouldn't be able to be objective and give y'all my opinion on the if I had a team. I can't. So I can only be a fan of basketball.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm like that with baseball.
Yeah. I can't follow a team, man. For one reason, I'm from North Carolina, so you'll see a lot of you see North Carolina stuff behind me. And I got Wolfpack and the Tar Heels. And you supposed to hate if you like one, you're supposed to hate the other. But I'm representing because it's North Carolina. So I like that better where I can just root for anybody that's playing good football or playing good basketball versus I'm stuck to one team or one player. And even when they playing horrible, I just got to suffer with them. Nah, I don't like volunteering for suffer.
Right. That's not what this is for.
Nah. I like to watch games and feel good, man. So if I'm a fan, my mood is going to change based on how well or how bad my team is, and I don't like that.
Right. Hey, whatever makes you happy, bro. That's what this is. This is entertainment for all of us. We need to enjoy this and just make the best of whatever we can get, bro.
For real.
Straight up.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you too, brother. Have a great night.
All right, you too.
All
right, we can take one more phone call before we move. Worldbreaker said I'm probably a Hornets guy. I mean, I am. I like every team. I like every team. I can just look. I like basketball, so I said basketball. I like basketball so much. I could just flip on the game and be like, "Oh, this game is good," and watch it and enjoy it. Or I can flip on a game, and if the game is horrible, I got the freedom where I could just turn it off and go to another game because some people can't do that. They have to watch their team. Like if you're a Hawks fan and the Hawks is playing and it's a horrible game, you're glued to the TV still. You can't go cut it to the game that's got all the entertainment in it. You got to watch your team or your favorite player. I don't have that problem. You get what I'm saying? So I get to watch whatever is good. And I get to enjoy it. You know what I mean? So y'all should try it, man. Y'all should try to drop your fandom. Divorce your fandom. Abandon fandom. All right? And try it out. It's good on this side. I'm telling you, the grass is greener and it's better fertilized over here as well, too. You can come on out here. I get the look. My blood pressure ain't went up none in the last 10 years. I haven't been a fan of a team or a player. My blood pressure don't go up when I watch the games, dog. I don't get mad. A team can get blowed out. I can be like, okay, well, they didn't play good. I'm not delusional. I don't have to come in here and lie to you about what I just seen because I'm trying to protect my favorite team. Oh, nah, it ain't that. Nah, I can come in here and tell you exactly what happened and what they didn't do and what they can do to get better next game. Everybody can't do that. Being a fan means being delusional. Because don't nobody want to admit that whatever they like sucks. I got a Bobcats jersey. Yeah, if you send me one, I'll wear it. Oh, I frame it. I definitely do that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That doesn't say anything about triple double. Oh, that doesn't say anything true. He must be talking to triple double. Triple double, what are you talking about? Call the phone, triple double. Don't be a keyboard warrior, man. Call and have a conversation. Mel Captain, he loved trolling Chris when the Pistons and Lions play. Yeah. I like trolling fans, period. Because I want to push your buttons just to show you this is what happens when you're a fan. You got buttons that can be pushed. There's no buttons on me. People be trying to push buttons. Like I be critiquing a player, and let's say if I'm critiquing Jokic for his defense, I critique Jokic, and someone will be in the comment section and be like, "Oh, if he's critiquing Jokic, that must mean he is a SGA fan." And then they'll be like, "Well, SGA did X, Y, and Z," and I'll be like, "Yeah, absolutely, he did." Yep. And they think they go get an argument from me. They think I'm a delusional SGA fan or something like that, where I can't admit what he got is flaws. And they think they go push buttons and get me all riled up because they're riled up because I critique Jokic defense. No, you have buttons. I don't have buttons. I don't have buttons. You can't say something like think about this. A grown man with kids and a family is going to get mad because you're talking about a stranger that I've never met. I'm not that caliber of person. I'm not that type of dude. Right? It is what it is. Ain't nothing wrong with being that type of dude because some people that's part of the entertainment for them. But I don't get any gratification from seeing a team win. And I don't get no type of hard feelings for seeing a team lose. And I like it that way. I do get gratification when I see really good basketball. And it doesn't matter what player or what team is playing really good basketball. When I see it, that's when I get that the feeling y'all get when your team wins. I get that feeling when I see good basketball, and it don't matter who playing the good basketball. I enjoy really good basketball, man. So when I critique a player, it's not because I dislike them. It's because I want to see some. I want to see you can play good basketball, and I want to see that for my enjoyment. Caller, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts is basically the topic is the top three players to have the best MVP by your book, right?
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about who your top three candidates are, we can have that conversation.
All right, I will say SGA because SGA has started his NBA season without his second best player on the team. So for me, that's number one. And then number two will be Luka. You know, the beginning of the season, you know, before LeBron came along, Luka and AR-15, they were balling out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were balling the hell out. But like you said, you know, you measure your MVP. What do you call that? Your chart?
You talking about my criteria? Which one?
There you go, your criteria. So you measure it by both offense and defense, and then team success.
Correct. Hold on, let me take my boy Ticket comment down real quick. I get back to that Ticket in a minute. Yeah, I just put it back on. Yeah, offensive value, defensive value, team success.
All right, so I do acknowledge that Luka Doncic is playing good defense, a better defense this season for out of the entirety of his career.
Not this season, this week. He's playing better defense this week.
Also, not the whole season?
No, it's been about a week worth of games that he's played decent average defense.
Oh well.
No, he hasn't been playing good defense all season. As a matter of fact, he's one of the lowest rated defenders on in the league, and it shows in the rating, the defensive rating for his team. They're rated number 25. Like the Lakers are number 25 rated defense, and Luka is the leader of that team. So he's leading a 25th rated defense.
Okay, so what about Wemby?
What about him?
Because I had him third.
Yeah, but why? So here's the difference between how people who don't have a criteria do their MVP race. They will rate players based on different things, and I think that's an unfair standard because, like what you said before when you first started, you said you got Luka you said SGA number 1, and you gave a storyline. It wasn't a criteria. A storyline is not a criteria. A storyline is what writers and people in the media do. They don't have a criteria. They just, man, what's a good story, right? So the story for SGA, you said was he's doing it without his second best player, and then the story you gave for Luka was something totally different.
Okay, I get it, but the one thing that is in common about these three players is team success, like the impact that they had.
Yeah, but
I know that
the Lakers don't have team success. Yeah, the Lakers don't have team success.
No, there's a reason why.
Okay.
You know why? You know why though?
Why?
Because of the 41-year-old diva that doesn't want to give up the spotlight. That's why.
Right, but that's unfortunate for Luka. That's the reason why he's not a top candidate. We can't get around that and say, oh, I mean that's what the writers do when they want to give somebody the award. Every negative that goes against them, they'll find a way to explain it away. Like when Jokic was in the 5th seed, they was like, yeah, but he's in the 5th seed because Jamal Murray is not there, and that's unfair to do. Yeah, that's unfair to do. You can't make an excuse for the guy you want to get an award to, and then don't make excuses for the guys you want him to get the award over. Because right now, we if we go back in history, we gave Jokic an MVP because he didn't have Murray, and we gave it to him while he was in the 5th seed. But right now, Jaylen Brown is not even in the race for the media, and he don't have Tatum, and he's in a 2 seed. So why couldn't Jokic get his team to a 2 seed without Murray?
Okay, got it. You know what? That's a good point. And I'm one of those people in the comments, right? And I asked this one question. Do you think that Jaylen Brown is being treated like the way Kobe was?
Which year? What you mean? How Kobe was?
Well, we know that the media was against Kobe Bryant back in the day, so that's why I'm asking. What about Jaylen Brown in this time?
It's similar. Because it's similar. I think Tatum and Brown is getting treated like that.
You remember Jason Tatum in the Olympics?
Yeah.
How he was treated?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are both in agreement that media has something to do with who's going to get the MVP or who has greater chances to get the MVP.
Correct. I mean, they're the ones who got votes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to get my thoughts out on this, but we both on the same page with that. Luka, when it comes to Luka, yeah, he's the best player in the team. He should get all the smoke for that. And then when it comes to SGA, the storyline, yeah, I get what you're saying. I was not consistent with what I was, how I was labeling all of this, but you do bring up a good point about Jaylen Brown.
Correct.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Thank you,
man.
Night. Appreciate the call. Yep. My dog Ticket, man. Shout out to Ticket TV, man. Jamal Murray and Porter Jr. both balled out. Man, absolutely, man. I think Jamal had almost a 30 ball and Porter almost had a 40 ball in his game back, boy. He frying Denver every time he get a chance, boy. He beat them last time they played in Brooklyn, and then he come back to Denver and almost beat them again. He frying them every chance he get, dog. Jokic fans are Bron fans. We might as well call that team a super team. Porter was Bosh. Murray was Wade. Salute. Salute ticket, yeah, for sure. Now that's all facts, dog. Like hindsight is 2020, and all that stuff that they've been lying and giving Jokic MVPs for was all lies. They gave him MVPs based on lies and triple doubles. Not even triple doubles, almost triple doubles. Because he finally averaged a triple double last year, but SGA got the award. So all those years that he was getting MVPs, it was because he almost averaged a triple double, and they lied about his supporting cast. And the voters was fooled into, oh, we got to vote for him because he's the only person who ain't got no All-Star. And I'm like, dude, they literally keeping people out of the All-Star to make that narrative stick. And he's literally was sitting there with three All-Star caliber players on his team in Gordon, Porter Jr., and Murray, which manifested itself this year. No Jokic. Murray propelled himself to a candidate to be first team All-NBA and definitely an All-Star. And Michael Porter Jr. has propelled himself to be a daggone All-Star. And I guarantee you, if Gordon never got hurt, he would be he would be in that same. He probably would get some definitely some defensive player to not defensive player of the year, but defensive first or second team votes. Like this junk is insane, man. The firepower that this man was working with in Denver, and we just go sit there and lie and act like this dude was playing with scrubs. Like that's insane, dog. And Watson balling out too. I mean, it's crazy work, dog. Crazy work. All right, we'll keep it with Boston, man, because Tatum, he felt the same way, man. He felt disrespected. He felt overlooked. He feels like he don't get a fair shake, and I agree with him, man. Hold on, let me see if I can get this phone number off. Get his phone number off, man. All right, I agree with Tatum, right? So Gil's Arena reacted to this as well, and then turned into an argument. This is gonna be a long clip, y'all, so I start and stop it. But the basis of it, Jason Tatum doing a podcast, and I think they asked him about being in Boston and having that expectation of being a Celtic and all that stuff. And his answer was pretty much like, hey man, like my resume before I even turned 26 is good. It's not good to be a Celtic because when you look at all the Celtic greats, Bird and McHale and Parrish and Garnett, Pierce, Rondo, Real, like all these dudes come back and they talk to us and they all got brass. They all won. Some of them, most of them, multiple times. So the expectation is crazy in Boston. So you got internal expectations. So they're not impressed by that one championship you got when you was 25 years old. They're not impressed by that. They're looking for the next one. And he said that he thinks that kind of bleeds over to the perception on the outside as well, because since Boston media and the Boston organization ain't glazing them, like when LeBron won that one ring in Cleveland, they glazed them. Get the bubble ring in LA, they're like, all right, get another one. So it's different. So what he said was, with the resume I got now, if I had this resume playing for Memphis, meaning if he had the resume of 2 gold medals, he's been first team All-NBA 4 times, All-Star 6 times, 1 championship, 2 finals appearances, 4 Eastern Conference appearances. Like with all of that stuff, if he was doing all that in Memphis, he said I would have a statue. And it kind of it blew up the Gil's Arena because some people was like, why the hell are you talking about a statue? And they just didn't understand what he was trying to say, and Gil was trying to explain it. It was a good conversation though.
Jason Tatum's status for the season remains uncertain. What is certain that he's compiled an impressive resume during his time in Boston. 6 All-Stars, 5 All-NBAs, including 4 first-team selections and an NBA championship in 2024. Obviously, he was not the Finals MVP. That was Jaylen Brown. But during an interview with The Pivot, Tatum talked about the pressure that comes with playing for a storied franchise like the Boston Celtics.
A lot of times, like former players come back, and whether it be Rondo, KG, Paul, or Cedric Maxwell, who's like, who works for the team, where, you know, they talk about the 86 Celtics, like, the thing they all have in common is they won. They won one or multiple championships. So as, you know, you striving to be a great player, it's like, you know, the career I have right now, if I had it with the Grizzlies, like, I would have a statue outside the arena.
Right.
But now I'm chasing people like Larry Bird, where the standard is so much higher. And it's like, you don't want to be the great player of the Celtics that, oh, you the one guy that didn't win. Like Bill Russell, John Havlicek, Kevin McHale, like, they all won a championship.
So, Gil, thoughts on Tatum saying he already have a statue if he played with the Grizzlies? Can I finish the question, Gil? All right. You know I live for these moments.
If you take his resume at 27 years old, he has more All-Stars appearances than every Grizzly player that played there. He has more All-NBA than every Grizzly player that ever played there, right? He has a championship. He has 4 first-team All-NBAs, right?
A gold medal as well.
A gold medal. He's an Olympian. So you're saying you take my resume, and if I did that here, I'm the greatest Grizzlies player ever. Yes, that is a fact with his resume.
I mean, but would you?
So Gil understands what he was trying to say, because for one, you got to understand the question. The question was basically, centered around how the expectation and the pressure in Boston, how is that thing, right? And basically his answer was just, with all the greats that are here, the little bit of stuff that I've done is not a big deal here in Boston. But if I did it at a smaller market or in a place who have never won before, if I bought them a ring, like, they're probably going to put a statue of Kawhi in Toronto. He was there 1 year. He got there 1 year and got them their only ring. Might be their only finals appearance too. Yeah, Vince Carter or DeMar DeRozan never got them to the finals. This might be their only final, or Chris Bosh. So their first ever draft pick might have been Damon Stoudemire. I think the next one they got was probably Marcus Camby. Isaiah Thomas was there for a little while. They had T-Mac. They had Vince. Then a Chris Bosh. Then DeMar DeRozan. Then Kawhi. Like, all those names coming through Toronto, Kawhi was the only one that got them a ring, and he was there 1 year. Only finals appearance, only one ring. So for Toronto, when it comes to them having some type of ring of honor or if they do a statue, it kind of gotta be Kawhi. Like, how can, like, I know what Vince Sanity and Air Canada and all that, they will mention that later on in this clip, but I understand what all that means to Toronto. But it brought you a lot of attention, and you sold some tickets and all that stuff, but you got a ring with Kawhi. So that one ring put Kawhi in he didn't have to do everything Carter did. He didn't have to win dunk contests in the Toronto jersey and put Toronto on the map and be there for 7 years and all that stuff. He 1 year, one ring, and I'm out, and he's top of the food chain for Toronto. So if anybody's going to get a statue, they might give Vince one for what he did, but they definitely got to give Kawhi one if they give Vince one. So that's what Tatum is saying. He's saying, this one ring I got and these 2 gold medals I got and all the stuff I did in the Celtics jersey for my first 7 years, if I did it in Memphis, they would give me a statue. He wasn't asking for a statue. Brandon Jennings and Norris Cole is on here. You're going to hear them, and they missed it, and they missed the entire point of what he was saying and was offended that he said statue and was like, why are these young players worried about freaking statues? He's not worried about a statue. Did you hear the question?
have the career if he was in Memphis.
No, he said his resume.
I know, I
said
get
his
it.
resume.
I get it.
No,
But
he
you
would
would-
not.
but-
No,
if
no,
you
he
was
would
in-
not have.
if you
No,
was in
he would
Memphis,
not have.
would you have that resume?
The pressure is not the same in Boston. That's why it's like that.
Wait, hold on. It's not the question.
Tired of that shit.
I'm
Yes,
just
it
like
is.
I'm not. I just asked a question.
No, it would not
I'm
have.
asking a question.
We put up a bunch of empty numbers like we always say. Everybody else.
You take
No pressure in
Giannis'
Memphis.
resume and you put him in Los Angeles. Does he have a statue? No. Okay. No. If you take but you put it in Milwaukee, it's a trophy. It's a statue. It's the biggest shit that they can ever build.
Yeah,
so stop pretending that his resume in Memphis, he has more
he do, but
all NBAs than every person who put on a Grizzlies uniform
that's true. That's true.
by 26.
So that means JB would have to be.
Every all-star, he has more by himself than every player that played in that uniform.
We're not denying that, though. We're not
when
denying
he's
that.
saying if he has it, he's saying my resume I have now. If I played there, I will have a statue. We're not saying would you have a statue would you have this resume if you was there? That's not the.
Yeah, but I don't at this age when you're in the prime of your career, why is that even the topic? Like,
See, that's not the point. Everybody's getting, and even Rex Smith in the comment section, you getting caught up in him saying statue. The point he was trying to make is not that he would have a statue. The point he was trying to make is what he has done doesn't mean nothing in Boston, but it would mean something somewhere else. Forget that he said statue. That's not the point. He's not lobbying for a statue. He's not saying he deserves a statue. All he's saying is what he has done mean less in Boston than it would mean in Memphis. Is that a true statement or not? One ring in Boston versus one ring in Memphis, is it different or not? Does it mean more in Memphis or not? That's his entire point. People get lost, and this is the problem with communication and why people freaking get divorced so much. and why people business partners don't ever work out, because people don't know how to communicate. You're so caught up in the statue piece, and that's not even the point. People got to be able to chew the meat and spit the bones out. The meat is what he done in Boston means less than what it would mean if he did it in Memphis. If you took exactly what he did in Boston for 7 years and do those 7 years in Memphis the same way, it don't mean the same. That's the meat. The bones is the statue. Spit that out. People can't get their mind around the meat of the conversation, and people get caught up on the bones and then get to arguing about the bones.
Actually, because we're trying to change
make
the narrative of what it's looking like now. So let me make it look like if I went to Memphis, shit, we wouldn't be talking about any of this. It's just the pressure of playing in Boston is the pressure of playing in Boston. That's why your career, and that's why everything is what it is, because of that up there. You going to Boston.
Hey, y'all get the likes up, man. Hit the like button for me, big dog.
You're not doing that. Y'all gonna do whatever y'all want in Boston. There's no pressure. I mean, there's no pressure in Memphis. All you gotta do is go out there and get numbers. Now, a statue, god damn, that means Vince Carter should get a statue in Toronto. That means a lot of motherfuckers need to just get a statue.
Numbers can go
We're
to
just
Memphis
bringing up
and
statues.
So
like, God.
Wait, so if you put Vince Carter's resume in
No. Vince Carter resume in Toronto alone, he should have a statue in Toronto.
He did bring bottle service.
Because first of all, if Vince Carter never does the dunk contest, I don't know shit about Toronto. I've never heard about the Raptors, anything until that. For what he's done, like we just talked about D-Rose the other day, what he meant to the city. Vince Carter's the same thing to me up in Toronto. Without Air Canada, all that stuff he was doing, man, we would not know nothing about Toronto.
Okay, let's just stick to the topic.
So I'm just, this is the topic.
Yeah, that Gil is like, y'all off topic. That's not the topic, dog. I'm gonna play the question again for Rex Smith.
Talking about everybody wants a statue. Everybody wants to be
everybody that's top 15 in the NBA with a resume. If they go to Memphis, they should have a statue.
Yes. So is that a lie?
Oh, I mean that's
I'm just saying,
obvious.
I don't like.
Okay, that's all
But
he
what
said.
is what's the
Damn.
point of it?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
What's the point of you saying
Then
that
listen to
when
the
there's
conversation.
14 other guys that can say the same thing about
Everybody
their
can say that.
careers?
That's
They
not
can
the
literally
point.
That was my
say,
question.
man,
I
if
want
I
to know
went
why
to
would you
Memphis
say
too,
that?
I would have a statue. Joel Embiid, I would have a statue. Joker, I would have a statue.
Okay.
What's the point of saying it?
Because the talking of who's number one over there.
See, and that's the issue with Brandon Jennings. He thought he knew what he was talking about and wasn't even listening to the question that prompted him to say what he said. I'll play once we get to the end, but it don't have anything to do with the confusion of who's the number one over there, him or Brown. That's not what it is, and that's what Brandon Jennings got hung up on.
So let me go over here and make it.
But playing for a franchise like the Celtics, like the Lakers,
It is more pressure playing in Boston. That's a fact.
why it's different.
We can't say that in a fact.
So me having 5 first teams in Boston is big.
It is.
Yes. So he's like, so
What's the point?
I'm asking why.
It's not big. It's not having five in Memphis. It's not big. Having 5 in Boston is big because of the pressure, like you said. But having that in Memphis is not.
he has
Nobody's gonna even know that he did that in
bro,
Memphis.
what he's saying is,
Memphians.
okay, him and Jaylen Brown are thinking the same.
All right, so here's Gilbert. He's about to break it down and explain it to these dummies.
They're saying this. Our resume is not valued like everybody else's. Our resume, because of the 100 people that's in these Raptors, you don't give us our flowers like everybody else, right? So when you think about Jaylen Brown now, I'm averaging 29, this and this, but because I play for Boston, you don't give me that because you think of all Boston players. If I played in Memphis with my 29, 6 and 5, I'll be an MVP candidate.
No.
That's how Jaylen
In the West,
that's how.
So Gil is explaining it to him. He's saying what you don't understand is Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are both thinking the same thought process. They're not getting appreciated, right? Like right now, Jaylen Brown, we just talked about it. Jaylen Brown should be an MVP candidate. I have him number 3 on my list. NBA.com, ESPN, Vegas don't have him in the top 5 at all. So they're like, it don't matter what Jaylen Brown do. They're going to find a reason not to give him credit for it. And the same thing with Jason Tatum. He's never been in the top 3 MVP races as well. And they've had so much success. If a player like, let's say Luka, if Luka have been to the conference final, like, first of all, we have glazed Luka for his 1 finals appearance and his 2 Western Conference finals appearances. He's been to the Western Conference finals 2 times, and he's been to the finals once. Before he got to the finals, he had only been to the conference finals once. On the East Coast, the same guy that was drafted in the same draft as him, Trae Young, had got to the conference finals in the East once. They had similar numbers except for the rebounds. No one glazed Trae Young. We glazed Luka and was like, look, do you see his numbers? It's a triple-double, and it works because he's gotten to the finals, the conference finals. I'm like, Trae Young's been to the conference finals. We don't give him no credit. And Jason Tatum has been to the conference finals 4 times by this point. So Jason Tatum gets to the conference finals 4 times, gets to the finals once and lose. And pretty much the same time frame because he got drafted a year before Luka. So it's pretty much the same time frame that Luka's been in the league. Luka got in the league, missed the playoffs the first 2 years. He done missed the playoffs two times already, or maybe 3 years, and 3 times in his 6 years he's been in the league, or 7 years. Missed the playoffs 3 times, got to the conference finals once. This is before his finals run. And by that same time frame, Tatum had been to the finals once and conference finals 4 times. But we never gave Tatum any credit. We never gave Jaylen Brown any credit for what he did. So what is it that what they're saying is, what is it that Tatum or Brown has to do to get the same love that Luka gets? Because they've done more than Luka. Somebody in the comment section answer that question for me. if I've done more than Luka and I've beat Luka on the biggest stage and embarrassed him, why is Luka getting more love than both Brown and Tatum? That's the thing.
They're thinking over there.
I get how they thinking. In the West, with the Clippers, Golden State, and Houston back, you think they winning a championship with them?
What are you
Because that's what he said. If you take my resume and my team to Memphis.
No, he's not saying that. You're
Oh, my God. Oh, my.
He talking about, we talking about flowers, right?
He's
talking about flowers. He don't like, he wants roses. We're giving him sunflowers. That's the difference. He wants roses. We're
I'm
giving
not
him
arguing with you.
sunflowers.
I just want to know why did he what made him say that? Because
Okay,
I've never heard
Winning
players
the
this young talk about statues right now. Like, why you not?
How?
That's part of his resume.
He's talking about, the conversation is about all the success you guys are having, you don't get the recognition that you deserve. So the conversation.
He got the award.
He's talking to him.
He's getting the award.
Relax, bro.
He's getting the award. What kind of how much recognition do you fucking need?
Can I finish my conversation?
fuck,
Whatever
bro?
your hate is for him, then do that after.
Man.
The conversation is this. So he's saying, we go to USA basketball. So this is part of the conversation. We go to USA basketball.
For sure.
I am first team all NBA, meaning there's 4 foreigners and then me as the only American.
Got you.
On the first team. When we go to USA basketball, I know one person that should be starting, the number 1 3-man in the NBA. So when I go to there to represent, I get benched. That's the conversation. He's saying that everything he's doing, where's the love? He said, because I'm judged by them up there, not my peers. Same thing Jaylen Brown is thinking. Hey, where's my MVP talk? How is people in small cities getting better MVP talk? I'm averaging the same numbers. My team is this. Where's my MVP talk? But if I'm in a small city, I'm going to get that MVP talk because they don't have no history there. So it's louder there when I'm being judged here. I'm being judged by this. Not my number. So that was a conversation.
Yeah, and I get that, and all that's true. But the statue talk, though, it seemed like he was reaching for something. Because when have you heard of a guy in the prime of his career be worrying about, if I'm somewhere else, I'm gonna get a statue right now? Like, I mean, why? What is that?
It was talking about.
Did we hear the question?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't. Yeah.
I
just didn't fit. It was just a conversation.
Thanks, Kenyon Martin. He said, "Did you hear the question?" Like, he's not asking for a statue talk. Like, it don't matter how many times Gilbert explained it and told him what the premise was. He still kept saying, "Yeah, but the statue though, dude, he's not asking for a statue. He's seriously not asking for a statue." Let me see if I can get the question again.
Jason Tatum's status for the season remains uncertain. What is certain is that he's compiled an impressive resume during his time in Boston. 6 All-Stars, 5 All-NBAs, including 4 first-team selections, and an NBA championship in 2024. Obviously, he was not the Finals MVP. That was Jaylen Brown. But during an interview with The Pivot, Tatum talked about the pressure that comes with playing for a storied franchise like the Boston Celtics.
You know, a lot of times, like, former players come back, and whether it be Rondo, KG, Paul, or Cedric Maxwell, who works for the team, or, you know, they talk about the 86 Celtics, like, the thing they all have in common is they won. They won one or multiple championships. So as, you know, you striving to be a great player, it's like, you know, the career I had right now, if I had it with the Grizzlies, like, I would have a statue outside the arena.
Right.
But now I'm chasing people like Larry Bird, where the standard is so much higher. And it's like, you don't want to be the great player of the Celtics that, oh, you the one guy that didn't win. Like Bill Russell, John Havlicek, Kevin McHale, like, they all won a championship.
So basically what he's saying is he's chasing a higher standard, the standard that was left to him by the greats like Larry Bird, John Havlicek, Bill Russell. He's part of the Celtics organization. He's part of their fraternity. He's chasing something way higher than a statue. And he's saying that the bar is set high in Boston. That's what they are chasing. the statue thing had nothing to do with what he's not desiring a statue or asking for one or saying he deserves one. He used an example. You can say the example was bad, but the entire time he's talking about winning and winning more because that's what the Boston Celtics require. That's what he's talking about the whole time. He's talking about winning. I need to keep winning. I need to win. I need to win. That's all what we talk about here. That's what Maxwell, Cornbread Maxwell, Cedric Maxwell talk about. That's what Larry Bird talk about. Well, Larry Bird probably don't come back to Boston too often, but yeah, everybody else who shows up, this is what we talk about. We talk about winning. And that's what he's talking about. You might not like the example he used or what he said that he was trying to describe winning. He said, yeah, winning means more here than it would mean somewhere else. If I did if the little bit I've done here in Boston, if I did it somewhere else, they'll probably give me a statue for it. You really have to understand what he's really saying. Like, people comprehension skills are lacking if they think that conversation was about wanting a statue or the conversation was about a statue at all. You know, this one when you talk to people and y'all can't get on the same page because you will be saying something to them. And if you say one thing that has nothing to do with the main point and you say one thing, they'll jump on that and be like, you said that wrong. Like, have you ever been in a conversation with someone? It might be heated, it might not be heated. And you're trying to explain to them, something, and you might be pouring your heart out. When you do this bothers me, and blah, and you explaining all of that, and they listening because they're trying to find a point where they can come in and win the argument. And then you slip up and say something like, and every time I do this, you do that. And then they might be like, every time. And then now the main point, we ain't even talking no more. I found where I can beat you with. You said every time. You slipped up and said every time. Now I'm about to debate you on if I do it every time. And if I can prove to you that this one time I didn't do it, then you're wrong about saying every time. And since you're wrong, everything you said is null and void now. These are the type of people that do stuff like that in an argument. This is what they was doing. He's trying to drive. He was trying to make a point, and on the road to the point he's trying to make, this one little detour he took, they want to talk about that detour, not the point that he actually got to. He made the point that the point was winning, but he said statue along the way to get to that point. And they don't even want to talk about the point. They want to talk about the statue. This is the type of people like that Rex Smith is and Norris Cole and Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings was just lost in the sauce. He ain't understand what the hell was being said. He might have been high in there. High and drunk and sitting on a butt plug. I don't know what he was dealing with, but he was way off. I wouldn't even have a conversation with him. But Norris Cole, he just got hung up on this statue. It was weird, very weird. But my point is, I add on to Jason Tatum's points. Yes, he is getting overlooked. He should be one of those players that getting talked about a lot. Like, I've always, since I've been doing this podcast, when we started talking about MVPs, when he was healthy and Boston was doing that thing, I had Jason Tatum in my MVP race. But for some reason, the NBA just don't like that, man. They don't like Jaylen Brown either. And I don't get it. And I think that the point they're trying to make is something about Boston that maybe the perception of how many greats have been there, maybe the entire league just view us different and like, y'all ain't really did nothing. But if I did it somewhere else, I probably would get glazed because Luka gets glazed. He's in the MVP discussion no matter what. Like, I remember the Mavs was in the 8 seed, and the year they missed the playoffs, they was in a 7 or 8 seed, and they still had Luka in the MVP race. And then when they finally fell out of the 8 seed and they wasn't even in the play-in no more, that's the year they sat some players the last 2 games and got fined. And they ended up getting Derek Lively in the draft for sitting those games out. That was that year, but they had him in the MVP race as long as possible. So all he had to do was put up stats. As long as he almost averaged a triple-double, it don't matter. Luka ain't got to play no defense. He don't have to have the best team. He don't have to have the second best team. He don't have to have the third best team or the fourth best team. He can be in the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8 seed and play 0 defense. He can be fat, out of shape. He can cry, complain all day to the refs in the game, and they're still going to have him in the MVP race. But here we got Tatum, who played defense and offense. He scores well. He has his team in the top 3 seed every year. He makes deep playoff runs every year except last year. And he tore his Achilles. He's a model citizen. He don't whine. He's always in shape. Why wouldn't that be the person that you prop up? But you got this other bad example of I'm going to be out of shape pretty much my whole career. And I'm going to play selfish basketball with no defense, win less. Like somebody got to understand that that's insane to me. So, yeah, I open the phone lines up, man. I take 2 phone calls, then we end the show. Let me get to some of these comments. Tatum is a Kobe disciple. That's why he is the player he is. Absolutely. Tatum an outstanding dude, but people hate him for being corny. The hate is forced. Caller from Mizzou, what's up?
Man, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy World Breaker, man.
What's up, man? What's your thoughts on this topic?
Honestly, I think Gil said everything that needed to be said for real. I'm more kind of interested in the question you had on the screen, which you said, like, why don't we give him enough credit?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more because of the time he's coming up in, where the basketball media, especially when you look to the YouTubes and the social media part of it, is more so based in negativity than positivity. Like, we'd rather highlight people's flaws than point out, what makes them great, makes them successful. And I love how you brought up the point of the face of the league. Because in my opinion, for a long time, I agree with you. He should have been in those MVP talks for a lot of those seasons.
Absolutely.
And we talked about the face of the league. Based on his resume and his age, he should be the one being pushed as the face of the league.
I agree.
But the question is, why aren't we doing that? Because we call him soft. Well, we make up these lies, says he isn't clutch. And then when he wins, they say, oh, well, his team's good. He's supposed to win. And, I just don't get it. And I see people keep saying he wasn't even the best player in Boston. I completely disagree with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even respond to a person that's saying that. Like, I read it too, and I ain't even respond to it. I'm not doing that stupidity. Like,
because like even in the 2024 finals, I'm pretty sure he led in every statistical category.
Yeah.
But I really think they pushed it to Jaylen Brown getting that award because of what him and Stephen A. Smith had going on. If you remember.
No, it's just a weirdness around this duo, man, and it's always been there. I just don't understand what the media is doing. Like, listen, dog, I don't know how often the people in the media talk and what type of stuff they say behind closed doors, but if they have a group of media members who have it out for you, they're gonna figure out ways to mess with you. And I lie to you not. Everyone knows that they hated Kevin Durant going to Golden State so bad that the media is the people that was putting those narratives out saying Kevin Durant needs to leave the Warriors to prove this and that and all this stuff, and those rings don't count.
Right.
The media was pushing that, and the media was trying to break the Warriors up. And Stephen A. Smith was the catalyst for it. It was a weak move. It was a weak move. He needs to leave and win without Steph and all this stuff and win without the Warriors. They kept saying it every single year, like they wanted to break the Warriors up. And the crazy thing about it is Stephen A. Smith was the one mainly saying it. And guess what Stephen A. Smith said as soon as Kevin Durant left and went to Brooklyn with Kyrie? Before he played one game, Stephen A. Smith got on ESPN with his trout mouth and said that was the dumbest move. After he said bro, you know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. Listen, when he left OKC to go to the Warriors, he said it was the weakest move a superstar ever made. And then he said he needs to leave Golden State. And when he left Golden State, the next thing he said was that was the dumbest move that you could have made to leave Golden State. You could have had 4 more rings. I was like, man, what the hell?
Satisfy these people, man.
You can't, dog. You can't. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. He said that. He said it 100%, dog. And I was like, man, this is a freaking daggone shame. They dared him to leave, said he needed to leave. We're not going to give you your respect until you leave. You need to go win without them. And then as soon as he left, they was like, oh, you dumb. You dumb. You left Golden State. I was like, these people is right, dog. Insane, dog. Insane.
That's the problem. Like, it's the media. It's killing us. Like, if we trying to push the game forward and help it grow, we need to be focusing on the greatness of everybody and stop trying to hold them to old standards.
Nah. You trying to sneak one on me? Nah. The old standards is what came up.
Hold on, Mel.
Okay.
Hell.
Well, hold on. What's wrong with this standard I put on screen? What's wrong with that standard?
Oh, no, I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about like the standard of, players becoming all-time greats.
Or the standard of playing defense?
I'm more so leaning.
I like those standards.
I was, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like Tatum, I can't really think of nobody his age that had that amount of playoff success other than Kobe.
Yeah. I mean,
and what Magic, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, he doing some phenomenal stuff. I just know if Luka had this resume, man, he'll be the GOAT already. Man. He would be in the GOAT debate. They want to put him in the GOAT debate now. He just can't. He can't win nothing.
Right.
But if he had this resume, he'll be in the GOAT debate. If Jokic had this resume, he'll be in the GOAT debate.
Man.
And can you imagine if Jokic had 2 gold medals and a championship ring?
Oh, don't even say nothing about gold medal. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was
you can about Mike with 2 gold medals. You can forget about him,
bro. You stupid.
You can forget about LeBron.
But Tatum and Kevin Durant went and won in Tokyo with a crew of 9 All-Stars. They didn't have the only All-Stars that was on the team was Tatum and KD. They had Keldon Johnson, Draymond, JaVale McGee. They almost had Britne Griner on the team. Like,
man, you talking about Britne Griner?
Boy, that squad, we didn't, bro. And the crazy thing about it is, I want to say they had lost a game in the qualifying.
Yep, they did.
Round. We was like, man, these dudes might not get gold. And then Kevin Durant turned it up another notch, and went and got that gold medal. And I was like, man. And people weren't even talking about that. Kevin Durant went over there and broke Carmelo's scoring record. Carmelo had the scoring record for the Olympics. Kevin Durant went over there and broke that, led him to gold. I'm like, dang, man, this Kevin Durant, that dude, dog. They ain't even glazed that at all.
Right.
Boy, these people crazy, man. These people crazy.
I don't even know what else to say, man. But yeah, Tatum, he definitely got I don't even know if you could fix it at this point.
Yeah, I just hope he come back. I hope he come back super healthy, man, and still got all of his game, man. That's what I want to see. Yeah, Booker don't get no love either. Yeah, Booker don't get no love. But he got
I'm gonna be honest,
but he got playing time on the Olympic squad. At least he got that. Tatum made first team All NBA and then went to the Olympics and got benched with
Man,
Halliburton.
don't remind me because I was sick, man. All my friends was texting me, said, "Dang, where your boy Tatum, man? He ain't getting in the game."
Yeah, that joint was diabolical. Still to this day, if I see Steve Kerr,
and didn't even put
Jaylen
Jaylen Brown on the team. We didn't mention that.
Didn't put Jaylen Brown on there either. And even after Kawhi quit was like, I'm out of here, man. Y'all tripping. That was like, go get Derek White.
And Drew Holiday.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, dog. Insane work, man. Steve Kerr with his owl face looking self. That man looked like a fierce eagle in the face. You know what I'm saying? I seen him on my dollar bill on the back.
Oh my goodness, man. I hate you.
Man, all right, man. Let me get out of here, man. Get some sleep, man. Man, thanks for the call, Worldbreaker.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Would anybody else like to call in? Somebody who disagree with me. Do we have a disagreement? You got about 5 seconds to call before I end. Let me get to these super chats to make sure I read all of them. Woofio said Luka's offense isn't enough to overcome his team's faults. No, not his team's faults. His faults. It starts with him. They lose in double digits to 500 teams or sub 500 teams. He's not top MVP in my opinion. I agree. Mel, you missing out on La Passion. Sheesh. What is La Passion? Giannis just destroyed his statue chances. Maybe. Forget Stephen A. Smith, racist rat snitch. Man, Stephen A. Smith is a buck dancing coward, man. Y'all hit the like button really quick, man. Yeah, call in Rex. Let's dance. May I have this dance? And in my opinion, I don't want him to look better than Bird. Think about it. I mean, he can't look better than Bird. Like, I mean, it's part of legacy in sports is who got there and done it first, pretty much. So, you know, when the NBA was getting established as this great league, the people who put the league on their back and help establish it, it's going to be very hard for players after them to overthrow them in our eyes. Caller from Illinois, what's up?
Yeah, bro. I'm calling to say if anybody deserves a statue in Toronto, I think it would be Kyle Lowry because he went through the grind. I'm not going to put Kawhi. And as far as Tatum and Brown, if they win another chip, they're going to have to give them their respect.
What you think they'll give them respect if they win another chip? They didn't give them no respect for winning the first one.
That's what I'm saying. That's when if they win another one, they will have to.
I don't think so. I mean, why would they? But they showing that they don't want to. They don't want to give them respect.
Because the fans are going to demand that they give them their respect.
They're not, dog.
I believe that. And then as far as Jokic, the point I got about Jokic is they will never be able to retire Carmelo's number because he has the same number. And Melo did a lot for Denver when he was there.
They might retire both of them. I think it's some teams that got multiple numbers retired. I don't know if it's any basketball teams, but I think it's a baseball team that got multiple numbers retired. As a matter of fact, they was just talking about this on a podcast. It's a podcast with George Carl, who looks very bad right now. This man looked like Freddy Krueger in the face. He in bad shape, man. It's time for him to start.
The man had cancer, bro. What you doing that?
Yeah, no. I'm like, dang, that was my first time seeing Coach Carl in years, and I'm like, man, go back into hiding because you don't need to bring, But anyway, he has a podcast with it's him, and it's Woody Page that used to be on that that old white guy that used to be on Pardon the Interruption. Woody Page, George Carl, and this other guy that used to play for Denver like in the 70s. And they all look exactly alike for some reason.
Vanderway?
No, not Vander. Not him. It was a guy. A name I would have remembered him if it was him. It was a name that I couldn't remember. But they was just having a conversation about that, about the retiring 15.
And then you talked about Phoenix. I think Tom Chambers or somebody that get their number retired before Booker. And we're gonna talk about the media. The media is so paid off. You see what happened to Bill Belichick. That's all media. The media drives the narratives. They stay with the narratives. Fans read the narratives on social media and everything, but they don't think for themselves and what they actually see.
Right.
So that's the problem with the media. Basketball and football has the same type of pressure with the media.
So what do you think happened to Belichick then? Why would the media do that to Belichick?
Well, the last podcast I was listening to, they tried to bring up the Deflate Gate and the headphone gate and spying on teams. But hey, if you're gonna put the owner in the Hall of Fame and what he got caught up in, how you not gonna put Belichick? And then what are you gonna do about Brady? Brady was there doing the same time.
Yeah,
and had controversy.
If Brady get in first ballot, then none of this made sense to keep Belichick out first ballot. But here's the thing, though. I think so. The rumor is Bill Polian, who was a Bills executive for years. He's on the committee. He's one of the voting members for the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame as well, right? He's very, very, very close to Robert Kraft, the New England owner. And supposedly that relationship between Bill Belichick and Kraft got really bad toward the end. And I think Kraft was some type of influence on Polian. And the rumor is that Polian influenced enough people on the committee not to vote for Bill. And it might have came from Kraft.
Well, they probably gonna blame Bill because he wanted to get rid of Brady at one time for what was that, Garoppolo? Didn't he try to do that? He tried to pull that move. So it's a lot of things, but he still is a Super Bowl winning coach. No matter all that turmoil, he still deserves the props of getting in the first ballot.
Right.
And the NBA is the same way. That media, when they get to picking MVPs and first teams and all that, they let the media do it instead of the player or the organization.
And the way they did that top 50 for the NBA and left Dwight Howard out and put Anthony Davis in, Lord have mercy.
Here's the biggest thing, and I'm not a LeBron fan. How could Stephen Curry win unanimous MVP and Bron didn't get not one vote? That lets you know how the media is driven sports. That's impossible. And I'm really not a Bron fan. I told you, Bron might get a rug at the entrance of Staples for what he did for LA. He might get a rug right there so they can walk all over it. But there's nowhere in the world that Steph's supposed to get unanimous while Bron was playing.
I mean, I don't know. That year, I think he was breaking. I mean, that team was number one in the league, and Steph was. I mean, he had them rocking and rolling. I understand the unanimous. I understand it. I mean, Bron didn't deserve it every year. It's some years I don't even know if Bron deserved the MVP for real. I think he got 2 in a row, and I don't know if he deserved 2 in a row.
I can go with that, but I'm just saying he deserves at least 1 vote.
At least 1 vote. I mean, it's possible.
1.
I got to go back and look at that year.
All right.
I gotta go back and look at that year. Which year was it unanimous? The year he broke the Bulls record with 73 wins?
I can't remember, bro. You got more knowledge than me on that.
I think it was because Steph got 2 straight, and one of them was the year they won 73 games, and I think that was the unanimous. Yeah, so I don't think LeBron didn't deserve no vote that year at all. You get 73 wins, and ain't no way. Ain't no way.
And Brown was on the Cavs, right?
Yeah, yep. His second stint with the Cavs, yeah.
If you going by numbers, if you want to pull up those stats, there's no way he didn't deserve 1 vote, bro.
Nah, he didn't. He didn't deserve. He deserved. He definitely deserved all the second place votes for sure. He didn't deserve no first place votes at all. I won 73 games. You go vote for somebody else? Ain't no way. Why?
All right, that was just my argument on that. But still, Kyle Lowry, he deserves. He might don't be the only one that deserves a statue in Toronto.
And why is that? Cause longevity?
Yeah, because of his grind. He grind with Toronto for how many years?
Probably 8 years.
And still stayed there after they got rid of his boy. After they got rid of DeRozan, and he still stayed and grinded it out.
Yeah, that's
Kawhi didn't win a championship by itself.
Yeah, but that's sentimental type stuff. Like I don't think you should get a trophy for people being, having sympathy for you because you did something that's near and dear to their heart. Like it should be based on winning and greatness. And Kyle Lowry is a really, really good player. He ain't done nothing that was great.
So you telling me that what was that, the last game in Golden State? The way Kyle Lowry started off that game, that wasn't great.
Yeah, you can't get no statue for 1 game.
All right, man. All right, man.
All right, bro.
You was rough. But okay. Vince, McGrady, and all that can get their jerseys retired. But I think Kyle deserves more.
Why McGrady getting his jersey retired? Maybe Vince, but why McGrady?
Well, what, he was in Toronto too, clowning, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was in Toronto, not doing much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's cheap. Kawhi and Vince. That's only 2 I can think of in Toronto that deserve something. And I think. I mean, I guess neither one of them deserve a statue, but I think Vince and Kawhi both, should have their jersey retired.
Not Lowry?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Lowry, maybe his jersey. I say, okay. Maybe his jersey.
Give him some credit, okay.
Yeah, those 3. Those 3 can get their jersey retired, yeah. And look, and anybody deserve their jersey retired off something simple. It should be the first overall pick, Damon Stoudemire. So I would retire those 4 jerseys: Damon Stoudemire, Kyle Lowry, Vince Carter, Kawhi, and it'd have to be a real conversation if they retired DeMar DeRozan's jersey. That'd have to be a conversation. But if I stop it at DeMar. I won't go past that. It won't be no Muggsy, Dale Curry, Charles Oakley, Camby, Chris Bosh, like none of them dudes. Nah. So I can think of 5 guys for Toronto that probably deserve their jersey retired. Maybe.
All right,
so,
big dog. I'm gonna let you go with this. Who's gonna retire McGrady's jersey then? Which team?
NBC. I mean, that's where he work at now on the Peacock. He better do a good job.
So it's count with the Magic in Houston, though, he count,
Nah, dog.
Okay.
Nah. I mean, if they start doing that, I'm gonna mess around and get my jersey retired somewhere. If they're just giving it away like that.
Did the Magic retire Penny's jersey?
Not that I know of. They did they did Shaq, and I think they did Dwight's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bro.
All right, bro.
Yep. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'll catch y'all tomorrow, Full Panel Friday. We'll be here. The Full Panel will be here 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're on the Pacific Coast like I am, 4:30. All right. That's all, folks. Peace.